way today, I won't have to go back down again until October. They like to keep track of my blood work for the diabetes. I've done pretty good with it because a couple years ago I finally got off from insulin. I still take that metformin stuff, but sticking myself with them needles twice a day with insulin shots is for the birds. That's what you get for being a baker. You bake too much, you end up eating half of what you make. So, but I guess that's why you bake, right? I haven't stopped eating it, I just eat less of it. Instead of double batches, I make a single batch. When it runs out, it runs out. They call this area Cloverdale. Skunks. Some people eat them, but my mother used to cook raccoon. Boy, those things were full of fat. Oh, you boil them all day and they'd still be loaded with fat on them. Can't remember what they tasted like. We weren't allowed to complain about what was on the plate. We were just told to eat it and be glad we got something. So, father was a hunter and a trapper. Sold his furs and the meat that you got from them, we always ended up eating it. Beaver, mink, mushrats. All over the shed there was all them hides, and they'd scratch them and tan them or whatever he does. When I was a young kid there, he used to put me on the back of his snowshoes. And I'd hold on to his pant legs and he'd go check traps with him. And boy, that guy had muscles, I'll tell you that. We didn't have much storage space for meats and stuff. My father would cut river ice with this big long saw, and he'd pack the meat in that ice thing there and cover it with sawdust, and that ice would stay there all summer long. They didn't have big freezers. If you wanted a freezer, you had to go to a community one. They're called lockers, and you had to rent space in them because nobody had freezers. There was little tiny refrigerators. You couldn't hold a pint of ice cream in them. Had them noisy damn motors on the top. Drove me crazy all night long. Good to keep the milk cold, but that's about it. We had our toilet outdoors. That was a pain in the ass. We had them chamber pots under our bed, so at least we could pee. I used to dump mine right out the window. Hope that there's nobody down there on the first floor that was walking out of the house at the time. Or if it was my sisters, I wouldn't mind. In the morning, I'd always wait until my sisters got up first and they went out to that outhouse and they'd sit on them seats and they'd be all warmed up. And I'd wait till they come back in and run like hell down there and jump on that seat. Well, it was still warm. Careful not to get one of them wooden splinters in my ass. Of course, we never had much of that toilet paper around. They always had those magazines. Not that you couldn't buy it, it just always like we were out of it. Oh well. And we always had Christmas in September because if we were going to school, we needed school clothes. Back then, you had to actually dress up and go to school. So we'd get all our Christmas presents in September so we could wear our new shoes and new shirts to school. Sometimes I'd end up with my sister's clothes. I look kind of cute in them, actually. I tell everybody they're my kilt. I'm Irish and I'm wearing a kilt. Guess that's why I have a feminine side to me. I look good in those skirts. I'm doing 40. My God, if you're in a hurry past me, I don't care. What was that bird on that picture back there? Was that one of those thrush birds? Herman thrush? I don't know. I just know all the birds too, and I forget. I guess you have apps on your phone now. You can just take a picture of it and it tells you what it is. Of course, like anything else, you got to pay for it, so I don't like paying for anything. I like free stuff. Like this TV shit that they try to charge you money to watch it. I ain't paying you no money, but that stuff's all in the air. It should be free. Anything in the air shouldn't cost anybody nothing. So I don't have that like HBO, and I don't even know what they have on there. I have just the basic stuff, and I use my computer. Watch stuff on YouTube. I watch YouTube more than I do any television. The only thing I have on is they got the news on in the background because I kind of like to know what's going on. I noticed that orange-haired fella seemed to be sweating here the last couple of weeks. I wonder why. Coming into Underhill, Vermont. Had a lot of kinfolk live here too. The Bolios, they were all my kin. They lived here up on this road right here. Turn left and had a little farm up there. His name was Honey Bolio. He worked for the state, driving a grader. He'd been dead for years. Boy, that fella could drink a beer. Like a case a day. Frog on that one. Snowflakes on that one. No, I don't know what that one is. Sheep. Fire station on the left is where the police always set to run their radar if you're coming through here. Either that or they're playing video games on their phone. They're just pretending to run radar. I used to have patrolmen that worked for me. That's what they do is they go to these and sit there and never write a ticket all day. They would sit there with the radar gun out but never stop anybody. Some of of them didn't last very long. I did that for 41 years. Wore many hats, so, and different hats in the department. Looks like everybody has those creamy stands now in their stores. Used to be just the small snack bars had them. Of course, those creamy machines are $6,000 to $8,000. Some of them are even more than that. So it's a big investment. Like all these houses down here are getting closer and closer to our area. They keep spreading out. I guess people need a place to live. We have a lot of people in our area, up in the Johnson area, that drive all the way down here every single day to go to IBM or whatever they call it nowadays, and chip factories and major industries in the Burlington area. So if they want to make any money, they got to drive for it. But that's a 2-hour round trip every day you got to make. And when they get to the winter time, it sometimes ends up longer than that. These roads get pretty snowy. I don't have to get out of bed and go to work during the snowstorm anymore. No, if I don't feel like getting up, I just lay right there. It ain't half bad, I'll tell you that. Speed limit 40. Well, I'm doing 42. So I'm within the margin of error. Open house. I was going to get this car detailed there by one of these people. Then I went and asked them how much it cost to wash my car. And when they told me $300, I said, well, that's more than I paid for it. So I guess I'll get my bucket of soap out and do it myself. I don't like these car washes too well. They never get the dirt off. They just take the top layer off, then all the dirt's left on it. So a couple of times a year I like to give her a good scrubbing. I don't get out much in the winter with this car, so I don't get a lot of salt on it. But I had my son's got this A-plus auto business that works on cars, and he sprayed the bottom of the car with some type of undercoating. Come to think of it, he never even charged me for that. He does a lot for me. Tried to give him money, and he says, no, Dad, don't want your money. I said, boy, you changed when you were growing up. That's all you wanted was my money. Up here on the left, they got a big Christmas tree farm. That's it. People buy Christmas trees anymore. A lot of them buy them plastic things that they stick on the table or something. I never have a Christmas tree. Don't need one. You ever feel like you gotta sneeze? I don't want to. I don't know if you can see it there, but the signs there, it says Christmas trees. White's Tree Farm. You go cut your own Christmas tree there. They've been there for years, so it must be they do sell a few. Used to be I used to just go up on the mountain and cut a tree. Nobody ever said a thing, but I can't do that now. Somebody catch you cutting down one of their trees, you might get some buckshot in your ass. People aren't as neighborly as they used to be, that's for damn sure.